All right. Welcome to the very first episode of What If We Just? The four words that make everything possible. This is actually a really long time in coming, and I'm very, very excited to bring you this first episode where I interview my very good friend, Nick, who was a longtime creator and really the face of Outlaw for many, many years. When I first saw him, it was absolutely instant. I was like, that's the guy for us. And he talks in this episode about his challenges of being a creator and the surprises that he found when he quit his day job and decided to become a full-time creator. So listen along. I think you'll find it both very inspiring and truly interesting because it's a side of creator life that you don't really see very often. So enjoy this episode and thanks for tuning in. You and I met
Hmm.
because you had done a review and I
Right.
saw your review on YouTube. I just felt instantly, I was like, this is the person I want to represent Outlaw.
Outlaw was, I don't know if I was really that many reviews into my channel
No,
when
I
I
think you
did
had like
Outlaw.
5.
Yeah, I was doing maybe a review a week. And
Mhm.
so I was probably only a couple months into that whole endeavor. I loved the experience of what the company stood for and who you guys are. And just that whole, it just spoke to me in such a way. I was like, this is awesome. This is perfect. What's funny is that stance, it doesn't work for a
Mm.
review channel because I was having so much fun because I was finding these products that I loved. I'd be like, I don't have really anything negative to say about these products because I use them every day. If they were bad, I wouldn't use them. And I thought I was creating something unique and that people would resonate with. But what happened was everyone thought I was a sellout because I
Oh.
was always creating reviews that were like, this product is great. I was trying to be like, okay, well, I'll review stuff that I do still think are good, but I'm gonna also talk about the negatives and see that I don't always just push stuff that's like, this is amazing. But what happened then was I didn't like that character of me. I didn't like being that guy because I'm a very positive dude who just likes to show people cool stuff. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted my channel to be. And so then it got down to like, well, the nitty gritty. Well, I don't like this about this. I hate being that guy. You can't force creativity in general, where it's hard to do it
exactly.
in survival mode. It's also hard to force it. The
Yeah.
days where you sit down and you go, I'm going to create this today and I want to do that. Those are the ones that never go right. Those are the
Yeah.
ones, it's always the one where you have a crazy idea one afternoon and then you whip out the camera and you just do it. And those are always the best ones.
That's the thing, if you're under so much pressure, if you have a creative spark, if you have a creative vision, if you have an inspiration and you go, "Oh my god, I know exactly what I should do," and you run out and do it, that content is so much better than
Yeah.
if you, or at least for me, if you plan it all out in advance and wait until you have time to do it.
You don't want to be in front of a camera and you're just, oh no, this isn't the energy I wanted to bring to this project. And then,
Exactly,
yeah,
and so you missed the spark, and you brought
yeah,
this wet blanket, not you, but this is what I'm saying.
right.
The creativity part of it, to do it under pressure, to do it in a scheduled, structured way, I don't know, I mean, it's just like, it just sucks.
So difficult. And that's something that I didn't expect that from, because I've had the last 6 months I haven't worked a day job in the last 6 months because I got to the point where I could take that time off. And I was like, you know
Yeah,
what? I wasn't having a good time at my day job anyway. I was a
yeah.
manager. And so I didn't want to be there. I hated every minute of it because part of your job is just ruining people's days. And
It's that is
it's
oh
just
my god, we could
that part of it just sucked the soul out of me. And so when I had the opportunity, I was like, worst case scenario, this is just a really great time off.
yeah.
I'd be like, oh man, yeah, I think I'm having a good time. This is fun. This is what I've always wanted. I have time off and I could, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd go cook breakfast on the Blackstone and smoke my pipe. And it was really great. And there were a few moments of that freedom that felt amazing. And it was really great. The
When you
back of
look
my
up and you
mind.
look around and you're like, "Oh my god, this is it, this is it, this is the dream."
Yeah. It's like
The
those
dream is
I think I'm doing it. And what I wasn't prepared for, there was so much of a struggle to get the thing created because it was like, well, what I really want to create is this, but that doesn't make any money. and I'm going to need money if I'm going to continue doing this. My real creative ideas that I have yet to work on in the last 6 months are still there. It was before the day job was in the way, which that made sense to me, right? And now it's
Right.
my own creative endeavors that need to make money that are in the way. In the back of my mind, it's you're not making any money. Your money's going to run out in so much time, and that would ruin it every single time.
Yeah.
And that's in the way, or a day job's in the way, and that's more stable. It allows me to actually think about stuff on the back end. For creative endeavors, it is really hard in social
It's so
media
hard.
to
Yeah.
make a dollar.
There's this saying that like you can only run out of money once. And I'm telling you, it's not accurate. You can run out of money many times in worse and worse ways every single time. Don't
That's so
worry. The
unfortunate.
hole
Don't
keeps
worry.
digging.
Don't worry. Oh my gosh, you're like, it can get deeper and deeper. Oh my gosh.
If you keep digging, the hole just gets deeper. It doesn't get
My
like
gosh, the
shallower at
stress
some
from
point.
that alone that's gotta be the hardest thing to get past when it comes to having any kind of fun or any kind of creative thought, especially in the day and age and the capitalistic society that we live in. Our self-worth is so tied to making money.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to get past that, but it's also hard to get past the doom and gloom of I only have so much time before the money runs out or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And it was that point where the same company I was working for before had an opening, and I was like, well, they'll take me back. And so I called them up, and I've had the most free, fun experience in the last couple of weeks since knowing it's going to be fine because I'm going to go back to that. So this time has been the
Oh,
most freeing of the whole 6 months.
man. Hey, maybe you
It's
could just keep stringing them along. Okay,
You're
I'm going to
right.
take another
Just like,
week.
"Hey,
And
just give me
like,
a little bit more time, just a little bit more time."
I mean, because
Oh,
then
man.
you'd probably be doing your best work.
Right? Probably, yeah. It's
Um,
just the most freeing thing.
Tell me how you got into creating and doing product reviews and what was that about? What was that? How did that get started?
Oh, man. Well, creating I don't remember a time when I wasn't creating. Creating has always been, I have to create. I will lose my mind if I'm not creating, and I've been creating since I was a kid. It's just whatever it may be, whether it was I would make little clay figurines, and I would do creative outlet was just whatever it could be, and so I'd go take my little camera, and by the time I was able to drive, I was going out and climbing mountains, taking pictures, and just having a great time with landscape photography, and it was never something that I thought I was gonna turn into anything. And so eventually that turned into, okay, maybe I can do weddings and stuff. I did a couple weddings and hated it. It was awful. And
Oh, it's so
family
high
photos.
pressure. I mean,
Oh
that
my
is hard.
yeah, and family photos. I was trying to find the avenues where how can I actually make money with this thing that I like to do? And then
Mm-hmm.
I found out that every time I tried to make money on it, I didn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And so products actually came to life because I always was drawn towards products like yours that were this really unique thing where it was like everyone else was doing this, but this product is doing this. I wanted to showcase products that were different, that really set the bar, but were also so far separated from what you typically got for a product.
It's
Anytime you put
wild.
yourself out there for anything that's just the tiniest bit of a personal thought or anything that's slightly personal, people will attack it so fast just
Have you
because it's
found it
different from what
different
they have.
on TikTok, YouTube versus Instagram? Have you found people's
You mean from
reactions?
platform to platform?
Yeah.
So YouTube is probably the grittiest. YouTube, I would say, is the meanest when it comes,
Really?
especially when you dive into YouTube Shorts.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've used the Shorts platform much at all, but
No,
they
and
are
now
the
I'm intimidated.
meanest. Holy smokes. Because on
Really?
TikTok, I would say is probably the nicest. TikTok,
Really?
in my experience, TikTok has always been the place where I can throw something out there and people are like, wow, this is cool. I like this. And I typically have a really positive experience on TikTok.
Huh.
And then I'll take that same piece of content and I'll put it on YouTube Shorts and I get the wildest stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gracious, holy smokes, what have I done? And Reels, I would say, is somewhere in the middle. Instagram in general is somewhere in the middle. I've had a lot of haters on Instagram, a lot of people that tried to just were just relentless about attacks on Instagram. And it's
How
probably in the middle
pointless.
ground. Yeah. But yeah, I would say it goes TikTok is the nicest, Instagram is probably in the middle, and then YouTube in general can be just the meanest.
Poor little Chiron or whatever your little
Right.
username is with your
User 75309 or whatever they're
exactly with your AI generated profile photo, and every single photo on your feed is AI generated. You throw
Yep.
nothing of yourself out there, and
Yeah.
you're
Isn't that
over
how
here taking pot
always how it
shots.
is? Anytime I've ever gotten a negative thing and it was enough for me to check on their profile. Who is this? Who is this
Yeah. Who
person?
is
Is this
this
someone I
dick?
know? Have I
Yeah.
worked with them? Like, what is this? Then you look at it and it's either on private
Hmm.
or there's nothing shown. And that's something that has always resonated with me. And the creator community is very quick to say is you will never get hate from someone who is doing more than you. And it's always someone who is doing much less, and that's why they're there, and that's why they're hating. Someone who either is jealous or they have nothing, and so they attack, and that's
Yeah.
what it is stemming from. And you see it every single time.
Amazing. You'll never get hate from someone who's doing more than you are, only someone who's doing less,
Yep.
and usually nothing. I'm
And
just
when
broadcasting, but they're taking it
Mhm.
as a personal attack.
Yeah, I genuinely think that's what happens a lot of times, especially when you get into dreams and chase your dreams and go into
Oh,
anything
man.
that
Ah,
inspires people. It's taken as a personal attack. Like, no, because I'm stuck in this. This is what I'm doing. And if you tell me that I could do something more or I could do something better, then I have to try. And I don't want to try because this is where I'm at.
I wonder how much of it is also born out of the trauma of trying and failing, a worldview that trying was pointless and everybody should be suffering
Yep.
because of trying. And that is one way to respond. I don't think you're going to go around commenting on creators' posts
Right.
saying, yeah, go back to your day job, by the
Right.
way.
Ridiculous. It cracks me up because so recently I got into my most recent endeavor. I started a gaming channel, which
Oh,
sounds we were talking about finding
oh my
creative
God.
inspiration or finding creative fulfillment in surprising ways, like a
Yeah.
podcast. And for me, it was the gaming channel. I started that when I was really in a low spot with all of my other content.
Yeah.
I had hit my peak and with the Knack Endeavors on TikTok, it blew up over there. I was doing great. Everything was fantastic. And the problem was I had built all of this success around a character. I wasn't necessarily who I really was in a
Tell
way,
me about that
if that
character.
makes
Like, tell me
sense.
about that.
Well, so if you weren't on the TikTok side of things,
No,
a
I'm
lot of
not.
it got posted on Instagram, but some of it didn't. And I formulated this character, these really like cinematic, rugged shots of me trying to look cool. And I was sponsored by American Hat Makers. So I had the
Yeah. Oh,
cowboy
yeah,
hat
sure.
and I
I
was
remember that.
doing a lot
Yeah.
of cool stuff with you guys. And so I was this rugged outlaw guy
Yeah.
I was just stone cold and rugged. And it was this whole persona that I created and it was taking off. So I stuck with it and I was doing trends on TikTok and stuff. And I rode that wave for a while and it was fun while it was. And then it felt like overnight, it was suddenly exhausting. And I was
Huh.
trying to figure out why. And it was because that character is only 2% of who I
Yeah.
am, right? To show up as that for the internet time after time and time again became really exhausting. And anytime I tried to incorporate anything else, it fell flat on its face. If I would try to insert this really inspirational thing where I would write something that was super inspirational and I would try to speak that to the internet, it would fall flat on its face. Anytime I was
Yeah.
trying to just be authentic and funny or goofy, it would fall flat on its face. Everybody
That's how
wanted that.
Chuck E. Cheese animatronic robots feel every day.
It's got to be exhausting.
I mean, right?
Yeah. And so it was such an exhausting thing. And I realized I was searching for something where I could show up and be more authentic. And we had recently watched a creator who his name is huge in the YouTube space. His name's Markiplier. He's one of the biggest YouTubers. Yeah,
Long story.
he's gotten so big that he's making his own full feature film now.
Yeah.
And he's breaking out of so much more than what is just the gaming space. And we watched one of his videos and it was really fun. It was just this really exciting thing. So I'm
Yeah.
super late to the game, but I was like, I don't care. I want to have a good time. And so I started that channel. And as soon as I did that, the comments are always like, "Oh, you're wasting your time. Like, what are you doing? You're just playing video games. Like, get a job." It's like, I'm just having a good time.
This is a theory. I'm just going to throw it out there as a theory. It seems like you could throw anything up there and it would get a lot of hate. So you might as well throw the things that make you happy, because otherwise you're just making yourself and other people miserable.
Exactly.
Like,
And I think that's what it comes down to a lot of times with the creative endeavor. And I do that, film it, have a few laughs, make a few jokes, and then edit it up, put it on YouTube. And it's just such a cathartic experience where it's not this drawn out thing where I have to be a certain way or be a
yeah.
character or formulate what I feel like being that day. It's
Mm.
just it just feels so much more authentic than what I had been creating, that it caused that consistency. And so when people do approach it and they go, "I don't like this," or "This is dumb," I don't care because I
You're like,
do.
yeah, whatever.
So I
I
think
mean,
that's
I
really
think that
important.
that's when I was thinking about, well, how can I actually do anything of value? And I realized that the most compelling, interesting, cool Instagram reels that I watch are, and the ones that the algorithm recommends to me and everything, are just people talking to their phone. The idea is the star. The person is not the star. The production
Mhm.
value is not the star. It's entirely about the idea,
Yeah.
whether it's know your worth or whether it's we're all connected or whatever. It's really not about the quality of their production. And that was so liberating to me,
Mhm.
because I realized all of a sudden, like, oh, well, I have meaningful things to say. And if I free myself from this idea, the curse of perfectionism,
Right.
or now I call it not just the curse of perfectionism, but the curse of standards whatsoever, that means that it's possible for me to create.
And clearly
So
that's
bizarre.
it's resonating with people just because it's probably just because of the authenticity. It's hard to come by these days. So much of what social media is because grenades go viral. When it does go off, that's what generates so much conversation and all. And it's the big thing in social media now is to be controversial. People will say things that they don't even believe,
Yeah.
and they say it because they know it's controversial and they know it'll get a conversation going. And that's just such a dangerous formula for what social media is, because then you have people who are authentic and they want to bring real ideas, but they're so drowned out by the noise. It's so hard to carve out a space where you can show up in social media and be like, hey, this is actually me. That's what has been so difficult for me to come to terms with in social media. How do you show up in a way that's actually going to get people to watch or pay attention or be interesting enough? And that's what I've run into so much. As I'm not passionate about it, as soon as it doesn't resonate with who I am, I just lose interest so
Mm.
fast. And it's hard to show up as that character time and time again when I don't want to anymore.
You had a
And
full-time
so,
acting job all of a sudden.
yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. And
Yeah.
I just got tired of acting.
How has this work changed you as a person? Like, obviously, you're going back to the day job, but you're never stepping in the same river twice, right? How has this changed you, your relationships, your view of the world? How has this changed you?
For me personally, it's a funny like thing to think about it changing me because I don't know who I am without creating, right? So
Mm.
I don't know who I would be without it. But I think that's part of what it all is whether I work a day job or whether whatever it is that brings in the bills, there's this creative side of me that actually is who I am. And so as far as that relates to other people, I won't shut up about my dreams or any of that, whether I'm around anybody. And so I'm just at work, they know me. I'm that crazy guy who's always doing crazy stuff. I'm that guy who shows up. And anytime I hear someone else, like I catch wind of like, well, I think I one of might do this. I'm like, what? Well, what's
Do
stopping you?
it.
Like,
Yeah.
do it. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And I'll get into it with them and try to like push people to realize a dream is a great thing to have, But what's
Yeah.
even better is chasing it. And chasing it is so fulfilling, and it's so amazing to have that thing that it drives you and it lights a fire under you. And so I always try to find what that is in people and kind of nudge them and be like, "Oh, that's cool. Like, try it. Like, what's gonna the worst that could happen? You know, like go for it. Like you're just
Whatever
gonna
moves the storyline forward is what I say.
yeah, you're just gonna
Like,
find out more about yourself if you go for it. That's all it's gonna do is it's going to let you realize either you're capable or what do you need to change to be capable,
mhm,
or you're just going to learn more. And that's in personal relationships with Hannah. It's the same vibe, and she's amazing in that she tolerates all my insanity and vice versa.
okay,
That's
cool.
just been such a cool thing to watch in real time. Sometimes all people need is for you to tell them that there's nothing wrong with trying it. And that's just what I try to bring anywhere I'm at is
Yeah.
just try the thing, do the thing, just give
Yeah,
it a
try
shot.
it.
Like there's a routine that you have, and routine is great, but shaking up that routine is where you learn, and that's where you grow. And that's where everything really starts to make sense, what
And
you're
we
used
shape
to.
our own everything, right? Like, so
Yeah,
if we create that routine, we can create anything.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. Sometimes when you can't see any light at the end of the tunnel, you gotta get the dynamite, right? You just gotta
Yeah.
you you make some light at the end
Yeah.
of the tunnel, and the only time you fail is when you quit, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna keep going.
Awesome. Okay, so now with the perspective of all of that, what would you say to aspiring creators? What would you say to people who want to do stuff? Like, for example, with me in this podcast, right? Like, there's a
Mhm.
thousand podcasts. I don't have any illusion that this is going to be an instant success, but still. So, what would you tell me or someone like me?
I would say you just gotta do the thing. You don't learn unless you do the thing. So I learned by action. I learned by actually just diving in and trying to do it. So I would say get into it and just start.
Do,
And your doubt is going to be the biggest hurdle you ever have to cross. And because your doubt lives with you, that voice in your head always comes back.
yeah.
And so
Like,
if you can
sure, it's all
find,
in your head, but that's the worst place.
yeah, that's the worst place for it to be because you got to take that everywhere you go. You know? And so if you can find a way to wrestle that doubt, and it looks different for everybody, because the only way you win with doubt is by doing it. Maybe people will love it. Maybe they won't. That's fine. It's just really dive into it in such a way that you're letting yourself learn from it and learn from what you did and learn about who you are because you were able to do the thing. And I think that's the best way to pursue it because if you have this idea where it's like, yeah, I'm going to dive into this, and I've done it so many times. I'm so guilty of this where it's like, I want this to be a thing that is just going to
Yeah.
be the best thing and everyone's going to love it. And eventually I'm just going to do it to where I'm going to be huge on the internet and it's going to be amazing. That's great. Dude, that would be amazing. But
Ah,
that can't be all that drives you. You have to enjoy creating for the sake of creating and create the stuff
yeah.
that you want to that really lights a fire under you.
Oh my god. I did a stop motion animation video, and you know how long those take, right?
Oh my
And it
gosh.
took for right, like,
That's
it
so
took, like,
much patience.
multiple days, perfection of the light and everything, right? It
Yeah.
absolutely, and it got within the first 24 hours, I think it had 30 views, right?
Yep.
And I was
It's
like,
soul crushing.
"At least I know how to make a stop motion animation video now."
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
know that 3 days ago.
Yep. Precisely. You learn that and you never know. That could come in handy one day. You might have some crazy idea and you wake up and it's like, that would be perfect as a stop motion animation. And now
Yeah,
you can tackle it
and now I
with
know how.
confidence.
Yes, I have the
Exactly.
skills.
You never know. You really never know. Sometimes I'll have an idea and I'll push it out to the world and it's not received well. And I'm like, well, that was a terrible idea. I'm never doing that again. But you can't really have that attitude. And that's why it's important to make content that is, or any creative thing that is sustainable, because that's the only way you're going to keep doing it. You have to do something that's sustainable, that you're willing to keep going. And I don't think you can keep going with anything that you don't have passion for. It's really important to do the thing that's authentic and be the person that's authentic because that's the only thing you're going to keep showing up for.
Well, and if you look at, like, Gary Vaynerchuk, right? His
Mhm.
early wine library videos, when he first started out as a 20-year-old or whatever, and he was doing YouTube wine library videos. They're awful.
Mhm.
They're cringe. They're
Yeah.
just terribly cringe. And I think people don't realize that there's some aspect of grinding through the cringe. If you do not have the stomach to grind through the cringe, it's not that you shouldn't try it. You just need to
Mhm.
develop the stomach to grind through the cringe.
That's exactly
Like
right.
there's some like requirement of cringe hours that people have to put in.
Absolutely. That is 100% accurate. It's you have and nobody knows what that number of hours is, unfortunately.
There's a number, but it's your number only.
That's exactly right,
And it's
and
not less than 100 hours.
definitely not. It's at
Well, on
least
that
100
note, I
plus.
am so overjoyed that we finally actually got to connect in real
Me too,
time. Yeah.
and
And
vice versa.
I can't believe how many years we've been working together. We've never done this because I'm so
Yeah,
intimidated by you. I don't know if I told you this, but I definitely told Davita this when she was like, I'm going to talk to him. I was like,
that's so
"Oh,"
funny.
she invited me and I'm like, "I can't talk to him. He's so handsome and smart and funny. I'm not gonna." I
I'm really not. I'm really not.
And you said that, but
You're
you're
right, yeah.
wrong. Like, you're still you and you can't get away from it.
Oh
But
my
it just is
gosh.
like I had avoided having this conversation for so long because I was like, I'm just too intimidated,
I respect what you've built and what you've done, and you're always just doing so much to move forward with this dream that you have, and it's so inspiring, and I've always respected that from day one because you're building this, dream, and it's so
We
inspiring to
made more than
watch.
$15 million over the course of our business.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's really a staggering amount of cash. And we've
Yeah,
lost
that
all I mean,
is.
we've spent all of it, of course. But
Right, because that's how business works,
yeah, but it's
unfortunately.
like, that is a lot of money to come through our hands.
Yeah, that is wild.
And I remember when we hit the $1 million milestone, I was like, "Holy shit," you know?
Right,
And I thought, "Well, this is it. I've arrived." And
right.
then it was like, "Oh, no, you gotta hit 5 million." It's like,
Isn't
"Oh,
it funny
okay."
how quick we are to normalize what our goals were? Like,
Oh, I mean,
you say you
I
wanna hit 1,000,000,
normalize
then you
it
hit that and
like
you're, "Okay, that's fine. I wanna hit 2,000,000." It's this constant thing.
when I'm within 100,000 of a goal, all of a sudden that goal is no longer meaningful. It's the next
Right.
big goal, right? Like
Yep,
I can never celebrate.
yep.
So,
And that's the true meaning of the endeavor, It's all
uh,
about the journey.
anyway, Nick, I'm so just overjoyed that we got to hang out and talk.
Me too.
And it's a real honor to be on this planet at the same time as you, doing
I could
work at
say
the
the
same time
same.
as you. I mean, it's just amazing.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. I hope to see, more of your wild thoughts and dreams and aspirations on all over the social media.
And that was so wonderful. I honestly loved editing this episode because it was so fun when we recorded it. And then it kind of got shelved for a while, as many projects do. And so when I uncovered it and took it out to edit it, it was like, I don't know, it was like reliving the conversation all over again with a very good friend. So, Nick and I actually lost touch. So I'm trying to get his information so that you can look at what he's doing now. I saw that he and his wife, Hannah, actually had recently released a couple narrated audiobook. So I think that's what they're doing, and I will try and get you those links as soon as possible. Next week, we have a very exciting interview with my dear friend Tony Sherba of Yeti, and he's going to be talking about how he thought in his business AI was going to totally wipe out his agency. And then he had a mindset shift and he realized that this could be the best thing to happen to his business. And since then, he's been absolutely booked to capacity. They're hiring developers. So I wanted to look at what that mindset shift looked like. So tune in next week and you'll get to find out.